We're continuing to cover breaking news after former President Donald Trump was shot at a rally last night in Pennsylvania. Trump was injured when a bullet grazed his ear. It pierced it, actually. One spectator was killed and two others were hurt. We do have TW Shannon, former Speaker of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, with us. TW, I know the connection is hard, so if you can hear me, please just begin talking about your first reactions to this.
Hi, Travis. Well, obviously, I woke up this morning like every other American, shocked and horrified that we've gotten to this place in the United States of America. But we're also excited and thankful that Donald Trump is in a much better position than he very well could have been. We witnessed a miracle yesterday, and we also witnessed a political giant who faced evil and who was defiant in the face of evil, rather. I mean, he rose to the occasion. He reassured Americans that he's okay, and this is so much bigger than just one person. This is a movement to take back America and a movement against political violence. What we know is that spiritual warfare is real, and yesterday was a stark reminder that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. We witnessed it firsthand on live television.
Absolutely. If it was just a little bit over, it could have killed, and it would have been terrifying to watch live on TV. The Republican convention begins Monday with something we've continued to talk about. How does this change the tone of that convention for you?
You know, Americans and Republicans were already united. I mean, there are a lot of people who already have major concerns, not just about Joe Biden's cognitive ability, which is at the top of the list, but also the failed policies over the last 3.5 years. And there's a tone in America, there's a movement in America to really make America great again and really to put America first. And so I think the Republican convention was always going to be about that, but also now it's also about something bigger. You know, Donald Trump, for all of his amazing abilities and even those that see his shortcomings, he is a symbol of something much larger. He's a symbol of restoring America to its rightful place in the world. And that starts with dealing with the evil abroad and the threats that happen here, even internally within our own borders. And we witnessed, political violence once again. We've got political violence happening on college campuses against Jewish students across America. I mean, the tone in America has to change. Political violence is never the answer. The real answer is to get out and to vote for civility. And you can't have civility without law and order. And I believe the Republican convention is going to be about restoring civility and restoring law and order, which is what we've got to do in November.
The violence has been escalating in the past decade. What needs to change so we do not see this type of violence against politicians again?
Well, violence against any person is never the answer, and particularly when it's centered around a political ideology. And, we've seen this from so many political leaders. We've got, leaders in this race that are referring to candidates as Nazis and a threat to democracy. I mean, that type of language has no place in the American, dialect. We shouldn't resort to that type of violent language, which ultimately leads to these type of violent results. What we should be talking about is how we have differences of opinion. I'm a big fan of the two-party system in America. I think the two-party system has helped to make America great, but your political opponent doesn't become your mortal enemy just because you have a different view about how to make America great. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully we can return to that doctrine. This is a reminder of how that type of language can lead to violence. And I'm just thankful that President Trump and his family are safe. Mm-hmm. and our heart goes out to the other Americans, to the patriots who were injured yesterday, and to the one who lost their life and was a victim. We're so grateful for the Secret Service for taking out the assumed perpetrator. But there are a lot of questions about how we got to this point yesterday as well that have to be answered, and transparency, it has to be at the top of the game. And I was happy to see Speaker Mike Johnson say that there's going to be a full investigation, because we have a lot of questions about what happened yesterday.
Absolutely. TW, thank you for joining us this morning.